Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about immune health. So I know with the coronavirus going around, it's a little bit scary, and we're trying to do everything we can just to stay healthy. And also, the seasons are changing, so that also brings on like allergies and that kind of thing. So today we're going to talk about different vitamins, minerals, and other health factors to really help boost your immune system as well as we can. So, a little bit about me. My name is Nicole Hinckley, and I'm a registered dietitian here in the Dallas area. I'm a speaker, I have clients, I'm a blogger, food stylist, recipe developer. I just really love all things nutrition. But my biggest goal is just to impact the lives of as many men and women as I possibly can. I want to teach you guys that you can be healthy and happy and confident and also have balance in your life. So, back to immune health, let's start with the vitamins. So, the main vitamins I like to look at when it comes to immune health are vitamins A, C, D, and E. So, starting with vitamin A, um, those are going to be found in foods that are really like those orange foods. So, think about like sweet potatoes and carrots. Also, it's going to be in those dark leafy greens like kale and also found in eggs. So, if you can find eggs at your store, get some eggs. Yes, eat the whole egg because that yolk is very nutrient rich. If you can't find these things, just because I know grocery stores are limited, try to do the best you can. If this week, instead of getting regular sweet potatoes, you have to get those frozen sweet potato fries, great, that's totally fine. And then vitamin C. So, a lot of people know that vitamin C plays a role in the immune system, but I think a lot of people really associate vitamin C with those citrus fruits. But I know a lot of people are going for those, so I'm going to tell you a little secret. So, bell peppers, broccoli, strawberries, tomatoes, those are also great sources of vitamin C. So if they don't have cuties and stuff like that, because everyone's got them already, you know to get those strawberries and broccoli, bell peppers. And also, you can get them frozen. So if they don't have those fresh strawberries, try to get like the frozen strawberries and put those in your smoothies and stuff. And if they don't have broccoli, you could get the frozen broccoli or the broccoli with a little bit of cheese on it. That's totally fine too. Okay, vitamin D. So, a lot of people think that you can only get vitamin D from the sun. And yes, you can get it from the sun, but you can also get it from foods as well. So, salmon, again, eggs, shrimp, that kind of thing. So, get outside if you can, remain a little bit further away from people, but also just remember that you can get it from other sources. And then vitamin E. So, this is a great antioxidant that can really boost your immune system. You can get vitamin E from lots of different seeds and nuts. So, maybe try to incorporate some sunflower seeds in your salads or have like a handful of almonds a day. I know that in my pantry, I have an abundance of nuts. Like, I like to get different ones and then I eat it till there's just a few bites left. And so, it's been good for me to just kind of clean out my pantry and sprinkle those last little bit of nuts on like salads and my oatmeal and that kind of thing. Let's look at some of those minerals. Zinc, selenium, and iron. So, zinc is pretty abundant. Zinc is going to be in any of those emergency packets and different vitamins and supplements that promote just a healthy immune system. But it's also going to be available for any kind of diet that you're following, whether that's a regular diet, a vegetarian or vegan diet. Zinc is found in meats, legumes, nuts, seeds, and dairy. So, it's going to be pretty easy to find enough zinc. And then selenium. So I know a lot of dietitians will eat a couple Brazil nuts a day because that's a great source of selenium. But you also can get selenium from beef, turkey, chicken, ham, pork, those kinds of foods. And then iron. Iron can be found in red meat, chicken, beans, oysters, lentils, and tofu. So again, you can get iron if you're following any kind of diet. Other health factors to look at are going to be water. So, water actually plays a huge role in your immune health because it helps you maintain homeostasis and eliminates waste through like your urine and sweat, and it just helps keep your skin and tissues really healthy. So, make sure you're drinking enough water, not too much because I know that toilet paper is a little bit limited these days. I'm just kidding. But women should consume at least 9 cups a day, and men should consume at least 13 cups a day. So if you're exercising and sweating, definitely increase that, but that's like a good baseline rule of thumb. The next factor to look at is sleep. So I really like to look at these subjects like sleep and stress in terms of like these pillars of health. So maybe on regular months and regular weeks, we're exercising a lot. Our nutrition is great, but maybe our sleep is lacking. Maybe we're a little bit stressed. So try to use this time to really focus on those aspects of your health that you have been neglecting. So if you need to catch up on some sleep, hopefully you can find an extra hour since you're not driving to work or something like that. So try to make sure to get enough sleep in. They recommend around 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And then stress. So, stress plays a huge role in the immune system. And I know many of you, including myself, are stressed because a lot of our plans have changed and the way we have envisioned the year going, it's all changed, right? So, yes, of course, I'm a little bit stressed. But whenever we're really stressed out, what happens is adrenaline and cortisol are released. And these hormones are great in short bursts. So think about fight or flight response. If you're getting chased by a dog, you got to have all the energy and high blood pressure to get away and run away from that dog. But over long periods of time, having elevated levels of cortisol, it's just not healthy because these hormones can cause us to have elevated blood sugars, higher blood pressure, and can just really knock our immune health. Because think about my example before: if you're running away from a dog and these systems kick in, the adrenaline, the cortisol, your body's really not worried about not catching this little cold or something while it's running away, right? So let's just try to not be stressed for long periods of time. Maybe try doing like an at-home yoga class, or getting more sleep, or trying some meditation, or just trying to do something that makes you feel less stressed. For me, it's part of it is just getting things done on that list that I have just been marking off and putting on to the next day. So washing those baseboards, doing all that little stuff, redoing my handouts, like stuff like that helps me just feel so much more calm and collected. The next thing is exercise. So I know that our gyms have been closed, so it is a lot more difficult, but maybe going outside, keeping your distance, but going outside, going for a walk, playing with your dog, maybe doing an at-home yoga class or stretching, stuff like that. Try to keep your exercise up because we don't want to break those habits that we've been building for a long time. So try to keep your schedule somewhat consistent. And also, exercise does play a role in helping your immune system function at its best. So try to keep some kind of exercise routine up. But if it's not as vigorous as it once was, it's okay. This time is crazy, and just focus on those other aspects of your health, and it will all balance out. So let's talk about supplements. I do not think that people need to take supplements. They are what the word says. They're supplements. So they should supplement a healthy diet, or if you are dairy free or something, maybe taking calcium. But I don't think you have to take like protein shakes and stuff like that in order to be healthy. But I do want to take a look at some of the popular vitamins and minerals I get asked about. So a multivitamin, since the stores aren't, they're a little bit sparse, it's not going to be a bad idea to take a multivitamin if you have one. It can just kind of help fill in the gaps that you might be missing if you're not able to like eat that rainbow a day. Elderberry supplement. I know there's a lot more research that's being done. I personally love elderberry. I take 2 elderberry gummies every single day. I think it's great. But one of the studies I looked at showed that people that had the flu and took elderberry started feeling better within 2 to 4 days, whereas the control group, the group that didn't take the elderberry, started feeling better in 7 to 8 days. So pretty drastic difference. emergency packets, I don't think that they're necessary, and they can be a little bit pricey. So definitely not necessary, but it's also not going to hurt you. If you don't think that you got your vitamin C and B vitamins and stuff like that, then it might be a good idea, especially if you might be feeling bad. But don't feel like you have to do that. And then probiotics, I get asked about this a lot as well. I recommend probiotics really for everyone, like through yogurt and stuff. But if you want, you can also take it in like a capsule form. Probiotics are, I mean, great for you. There's so much research coming out showing that having like a healthy gut microbiome is so important. And yeah, so probiotics help boost your immune system. So make sure to either like eat some yogurt or maybe take a supplement. So, antioxidants. You can get antioxidants from berries, green tea, dark chocolate, coffee. If you have to have frozen berries, that's okay. Green tea is great. Just make sure there's not a lot of sugar added in it. Dark chocolate, you can enjoy a square after dinner. And coffee, I think we're doing great on coffee. I don't think we need to incorporate any more coffee. Let's talk about how we can incorporate some balance during this crazy time. I know that with our quarantine, it's a little bit more challenging to eat whole foods all the time. So I want to talk to you guys about what your plate should look like and what we can do now that it's a little bit more challenging to find these foods. So I don't know if you've seen this, but this has actually replaced the food pyramid. The food pyramid used to have like 7 to 8 servings of grains a day, and it was just really hard to visualize that. So now what they've done is they've broken it down into a plate. So now whenever you're choosing foods, instead of wondering how many servings, blah, 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 you just visualize your plate. So about a quarter of your plate should be fruits, a little over a quarter should be veggies, a quarter lean protein, a quarter whole grains, and then a side of low fat dairy. So, most of the time, we want to have those whole foods, those apples, broccoli, oatmeal, chicken, low fat yogurt. But in times like this, it's okay to splurge a little bit and get what's available. So if you have to have frozen broccoli tots for your vegetable, not the end of the world. If you're having mac and cheese for your grain, that's okay too. If you need to have like a lightly fried tilapia or something for your protein, that's okay. Give yourself a break. We just need to get through it, but try to keep your plate structured as similar to this as you can. So let's talk about some of the foods that you might have in your pantry and how we can make those just a little bit healthier. So, frozen waffles. I love frozen waffles. Probably the most common way to have frozen waffles is with butter and syrup. But I bet you have some kind of nut butter in your pantry and maybe like a frozen fruit. So, if you can, start with a whole grain waffle, slap some peanut butter on there just to give you some protein, some healthy fat, add some fruit. Those frozen blueberries are going to be a great source of antioxidants. And then if you have like a glass of milk, then you can have that on the side for some extra protein. I like the Fairlife. If you can find it, great. If you can't, not the end of the world. But I like the Fairlife just because it's a lot higher protein and lower carb. I don't know if you can tell that I love peanut butter, but I bet you can find these either in the store or in your pantry with the ingredients that you already have. So I make protein peanut butter balls all the time. They're just great post-workout for a snack, for breakfast if you're running out the door. But I just start with rolled oats, and then I like to add peanut butter. You can use almond butter, cashew butter, walnut butter, whatever butter you want to do, except regular butter. Don't use regular butter because that would just be like a cookie. And then add some flavors. So whether that's chocolate chips, dried fruit, whatever you like. You don't have to do that. That's optional. Another optional thing you could do is add some protein powder. So I have some unflavored protein powder that I like to add into things like this just to give me that extra protein that is sometimes hard to get. And then I like to add some honey to make it sweet, also a little bit more sticky. And then depending on the season, I like to add spices. Cinnamon's a big staple. Sometimes I'll throw in some nutmeg. But yeah, you just mix all those together. You can make them into balls, or if you are feeling lazy, sometimes I will just push it into a pan and just like cut it into squares. So either way is just fine, and they are so healthy and so delicious. Okay, so soup and grilled cheese. So you might have some canned soup in your pantry. If they have veggies, great. You can count that as your veggie. And then to get that whole grain, you can start with a whole grain tortilla or whole grain bread, whatever you want to do. If they have low fat cheese, great. If not, that's okay too. But you get your dairy with the cheese, the grain with the tortilla or bread, and then if you want, you can add in some like deli turkey or something like that to give you some extra protein, and then your veggies with the soup. So there you go. You can also maybe add some fruit on the side or maybe for dessert, and that is a perfectly balanced meal. Another option might be pizza. So if you have a pizza already made, that's okay. Maybe just have like a side salad or something. But if you want to make the pizza on your own, you can start with like a whole grain crust or a whole grain tortilla. Add some marinara sauce, some low fat cheese for your dairy, lean protein. I like Canadian bacon. It's delicious and it's a very lean protein. Fruit, you can add some pineapple. I know some people think this is a little weird, but I think it's delicious. And then serve that up with a side salad, or you can even put some veggies on your pizza, like some bell peppers and mushrooms and that kind of thing. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something from this immune system PowerPoint. But if you want to learn more, you can join my weekly newsletter. I'm going to be putting out tons of information about things that you can do at home, recipes you can make out of your pantry. I'll even throw in some videos in there that you can work out too. So you can email me at NicoleHinkleyRD@gmail.com, and I can subscribe you to my newsletter. Or if you would like, you can go to my website. It's NicoleHinkleyRD.com, and you can click the pink banner and subscribe there. But if you have any questions, please email me. I love being a resource for you. And then I'm also going to be posting tons of information on my Instagram at Blissful Nutritionist. I'm going to be posting in my feed and in my stories on just like recipes I've made and tips that you can do to just stay your healthiest while we are in this crazy time. So thanks for watching, and please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions.